quick video today. I just got 4 new books. Went to a used bookstore, found some cool things. So, why not share them? Here are the books that I got. I don't know if you can see them. Lighting's off, sorry. But basically, the books I picked up are books that I've heard about, that I've meant to pick up in, one way or another eventually, but why not pick them up when you find them for cheap? So the first thing I have is Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. This is something that I've seen around a bunch of times. I've heard it's a very good dystopian novel. If you know anything about me, I love dystopian novels, so that's like music to my ears. And it's not something super long. Generally, when I hear about something more than a few times, I make it a note in my mind to pick it up when I get a chance. So, perfect timing, maybe divine timing, maybe synchronistic timing. But yeah, the next thing we have is the Upanishads. I'm sorry, I know I said it wrong. The Upanishads. I hope I said that right. But basically, this is something that I've basically figured out that I need to read if I like the Bhagavad Gita. I know that Schopenhauer loved this book, and Schopenhauer is someone that I find super interesting. So whenever you find an author that reads something and loves it, and that author is also someone you love, you should probably look to what inspired them. That's a very good way to find new things to read. That's how I've discovered Nietzsche. That's how I've discovered Freud. That's how I discovered Emerson as well. Like, a lot of the authors that I love the most are simply discovered, at least by me, through other authors that I find some interesting ideas from. So, with that said, whenever you find a name that's repeated time and time again, maybe it's worth your time to go out and check them out. Maybe it's worth your time to make note of that and eventually try to find one of their works or one of their books. The next thing I have is Anthem by Ayn Rand. So Ayn Rand is someone that I really do like. I think she has a very interesting philosophy. I think she's definitely wrong about some things, but I think overall she is one of the more interesting figures when it comes to philosophy. I think her ideas make a lot more sense than most philosophers, and definitely someone that I want to explore more. I know she's known primarily for her literature and her fiction, so I do have Atlas Shrugged, but it's like 1,000-something pages, and knowing me, I like to read shorter works, so I was just looking around, saw this very short work, figured I might as well pick it up because I think it's around 100 pages, so that's definitely much more up my alley when it comes to the page length. And I feel like I've been telling you guys that I'm going to read Atlas Shrugged, but it's probably going to be a while before I get around to it and get around to finishing it, so I figured I'd pick up something shorter in the meantime and talk more about Ayn Rand, because I do find her ideas super fascinating. I do find her very, very insightful and in certain ways extremely correct. But with that said, the last book we have is The Fellowship of the Ring by Tolkien, and I've read The Hobbit. I feel like I started reading this, but I never quite finished it. And Tolkien's someone that I very much wanted to read, because I think Tolkien is the quintessential example of the perfect archetype. And what Tolkien really set out to do with The Lord of the Rings was create a mythos for Great Britain, create a mythos that they could kind of collectively get behind. And I think because of that, he wrote a book that's so resonating with consciousness even to this day. And I think it's something that it's going to be very interesting for me to go through, because I'm not really someone that likes fantasy. I'm not really somebody that likes those types of stories, but I think Tolkien is going to interweave the narratives with these universal themes, and if it's anything like The Hobbit, it's going to be very much insightful. And even just watching the movies, I can tell that Gandalf follows the Christ archetype. But anyway, with that said, these are just 4 interesting books I picked up today. The point of me making this video is, 1, to talk about things that I will hopefully read in the future, hopefully get around to, but 2, also just inspire you to go out, go into your neighborhood, go into your local businesses, and support the used bookstores. They got some great stuff. They got some things that are greatly priced, and it'll force you to pick up things that you otherwise wouldn't pick up. Like, it's hard to go into Barnes and Nobles and pick up something that you really don't want to read, but when you don't find anything and you find an author that you recognize, and it's an author you keep pushing off and you eventually pick it up, I think that little bit of selection, that little bit of you finding a hidden gem, is going to give you the the kick in the butt that you need to pick up that author that you keep pushing off. So with that said, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. If you want to read up my own writings, go ahead, join my school community. That's where you can find all my stuff. Been adding some great stuff there. So yeah, if you're interested. If not, stick around the channel. If you don't want to stick around the channel, then it was nice seeing you. But love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Happy 4th of July if you're seeing this on the 4th.